Hello, so now I will be conducting an experiment regarding the crystallization of salt. Okay, so my name is Muhammad Suhaimi, and these are my apparatus or items that will be used in this project, consisting of a mug, a spoon, a packet of salt, and also a plate. So let's get started. Okay, first of all, pour an amount of salt into a cup of hot water. I mean a truly hot water and stir it up and keep adding the salt until it can't dissolve anymore in the hot water. Next is to take an amount of the salted water using a spoon and pour it onto a plate. Make sure the water doesn't have an excessive amount of salt when we take it and pour it onto the plate. So as we can see, after a day, the solution seems like to crystallize. So finally, after 2 days, there are a lot of cube crystals here or formed on top of the plate after the solution is completely dry. Okay, so how crystal is formed? Why we use hot water instead of the cold one? Okay, so basically the molecules are floating around and move fast when they hot. As they get colder and things slow down, the molecules begin to grab each other until everything is packed into a hot solid. For some materials, molecules prefer to grab each other in a specific ways, then they will build a solid in a very specific shape. So basically, water can only dissolve a certain amount of stuff until they reach the saturation. At saturation, liquid has taken on as much salt as it can, and the rest just stay where it is. So basically, the heat will turn up the saturation point, which is how much salt that the water can hold. As the liquid cools, saturation point will lower again, and the liquid is now super saturated. A lot of salt doesn't really fit in the liquid anymore and needs to become the solid again. So they begin to grab each other again. In the salt water, cooling slows things down enough to let a group of salt come together and start building crystals. So when big enough group of salt fits together that it will keep growing instead of shrinking, tiny crystals act like a seed for growing an even bigger crystal. So that's we call the nucleation, the beginning of the crystal growth. So that's all from me. Thank you for your listening.